Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel for another video. It's Silly Blocks here, hope you're all doing well. So in today's video I'm going to show you how to build this spruce starter house in your Minecraft world. This is a really easy one, but it's kind of a interesting looking house, so I'm pretty proud of this build and I hope that you'll find it pretty easy to follow. It's made using very easy to gather materials. It's pretty much all of just the spruce, like the things that you can make out of spruce. So obviously spruce logs, stairs, trapdoors, regular doors, and yeah, it's pretty much all spruce. There's a little bit of oak as well, which obviously is pretty easy to find, probably one of the most easy materials in the game to get hold of. And then there's just a little bit of glass, and you'll need to find some things like clay and a little bit of iron for the decorative items, but I'm sure that they're all things that you'll be able to find early on in a Minecraft world, so I hope that you enjoy this build. So just to explain what I'm doing here, I'm placing a temporary block so I can continue with the roof peaks, do one that is parallel to the opposite side of the house, hope that makes sense, and you'll see later on in the video I get rid of that post, but I just wanted to explain that part, probably didn't need to. But yeah, the rest of the build is all easy to follow. You won't need any like advanced building skills or building techniques to be able to build this, but you're still going to get a pretty nice house out of it. There's also space out the front for a little crop area, so you can grow some starter crops like your potatoes or your wheat or whatever it is that you manage to find in a new world, and that can always be expanded depending on where you build the actual house itself. You could make that crop area a lot bigger, so it's great for survival, this house. There's plenty of storage inside. I've done kind of a limited minimalist interior what is wrong with my words? I've done a minimalist interior for this build because I thought, as I said in one of my previous videos, I always like to keep the interior of my builds pretty simple because it's going to depend on what your goals are for your world and all of that sort of thing as to what you're going to want to store inside your house and what workstations you're going to have, how much storage you're going to need. So I've given some ideas and I've done a little bit of decorating on the interior, but there's definitely space for you to change it. Oh, here I am getting rid of that post, as I was saying earlier. Yeah, there's definitely space for you to change it up, make it completely your own and unique to you. And in terms of the build style for this build, I kind of got my ideas from like a old wood cabin, like a wooden cabin in the woods kind of idea. So it's a bit different, like the walls and the building technique that I've gone for is a little bit different than some of my other builds that I've made. I usually just do walls out of planks and some windows, to be honest, and keep it pretty straightforward, but I've tried to make this one a little bit more textured and unique and solid. Is that the word? I feel like if you build the walls of a build out of logs, it looks more like chunky and substantial, so that's kind of where I was going with this. Oh, I'm sorry about this camera angles as well when I keep clipping through this tree. I need to make sure that when I'm doing these videos that there's no trees too near the building that I'm doing, because then when I try and pan the camera around I end up clipping through these trees. I mentioned it in my last video, so I'm sorry for any shoddy camera work as I'm editing this video. I do my best, but sometimes it just doesn't turn out the way I want. I've really tried to make the doorway a little bit different as well on this house, because I feel like it's probably just all in my head, but I always doubt my videos and doubt myself, and I always feel like I make my builds quite similar sometimes. It might not look similar like at face value when you look at the finished product, but I often feel like I do windows the same every time and doorways the same, and I always do the same roof, and then it ends up being just the same build as the previous video with just different blocks and maybe a little bit of a different shape, like floor plan wise. So I've really tried with this one to make it completely different to all of my other builds, so I really do hope that you like it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this one, and if you like this build, if you like the style of it, and what other videos you want to see coming up. Like I've said before, pretty much most of my videos over the next few weeks are going to be starter houses, because this is now episode 4, I believe, of this series of starter houses for different biomes. So over the next few weeks you're going to be seeing a lot of starter houses, but let me know if you want to see anything else in the meantime, like peppered in there so it doesn't get boring and just me doing starter houses. And another thing, I have a question for you guys, and that is, so I mentioned before that I'm streaming on Twitch with my boyfriend on his channel, so it's not my channel, but if you want to come and watch us on Twitch, me and my boyfriend playing Minecraft, then I've left the link in the description. But we're also thinking about not making it into a variety channel, but sometimes we want to do longer streams and we don't want to sit and play Minecraft for like 6 hours. So I'd be interested to know if there's any other games that you want to see us play, or like any other games that you find enjoyable watching on other channels that you think would be good for us to try out. We've thought about Among Us, and we've thought about actually Among Us. I think Among Us was the only one we've really discussed, and I don't know if that's really something that we want to try just yet, just because you have to have a lot of people online as well to play, and sometimes it can just be a little bit faffy. We've got quite a small community at the moment, and it's great, the community that we've got, but I just don't know if we're quite at the stage where Among Us would be as entertaining as it could be perhaps for someone with a larger audience. So if there's any other games that you would like to see us try out, whether it's, either hear a lot of talk about the moment about horror games, but yeah, any other games that you think might be fun for us to try out, then I would love to hear in the comments below any suggestions. And I think we're not really like shooter games kind of people, so I don't think like Fortnite or anything like that would be our cup of tea, or Overwatch even. I did used to play Overwatch, but I don't know if it's necessarily the sort of game that we'd be more leaning towards at this point, at least anyway. But if there's any other like creative games or buildy games, or like stuff similar to Minecraft where it's maybe a survival element or like a storyline element to the game, but not like Fortnite kind of thing where you're just shooting other players, then give us some ideas. Let me know in the comments, and I would love to expand our selection or our like portfolio. Portfolio is definitely not the right word I want, but we'd just basically like to expand on the games that we're playing on our platforms. So any suggestions, that would be very, very exciting, and just sort of freshen up our content a little bit. Not that it's getting stale, we've only obviously been on YouTube and Twitch between the two of us since like February, so if it was getting boring already, then there would be something to be worried about. But it would just be cool if we had a couple of other ideas of games that we can play, so we don't get sick and like burnt out with Minecraft, which is a bit of a concern. It hasn't happened yet, but we're a bit worried that that could happen if that's the only thing that we're playing. So yeah, that took ages for me to explain, but yeah, any ideas, let us know. So here we are now, moving on to the interior of the build. So like I said earlier, this is just some ideas on what you can do for the interior. I'm going to keep it pretty simple, but here I am just lining the floor, changing that into oak, and then I'm lining the ceiling with spruce logs just to tidy up the underneath and make it all look not flat, but like cohesive. Is that the word I want? Yeah. And also doing the same thing on this side. It's a bit dark at the moment, but I'm going to place the light in a second, and then you'll be able to see perfectly. And then I'm just filling in these gaps here with some planks, leaving the other gaps in the roof. You'll see in a second why, but I'm going to place some chests in those gaps. And then I'm creating these pendant lights now using some fences and some lanterns, and you'll actually be able to see in a minute because I'm going to place those lanterns down. Here we go. Yep. So yeah, so here I am now also placing those chests. As I said, I'm placing some flower pots and lanterns and stuff in the gaps, but you could make this all chests if you needed the extra storage. And then I've just shown there that you can in fact open them, because there is, I think it's a stair above it, so it's not a full block, and you can open it. And now we're just placing some furnaces and some workstations. I've just placed what I would usually use in a survival world, but you obviously change this to whatever you use for yourself, and obviously whatever you find. And that's pretty much it for the interior. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoy it. I really hope that you're able to create something similar in your own world. If you are, then make sure you tag me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, any social media that you're on. I will also be on it. All of my handles are in the description, so you can follow me on there. And yep, thank you so much for the support on my videos and everywhere. Just want to say thanks again for everyone that's followed me, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye.